What's going on, everybody? This is Lady Luck. Okay, I wanted to do a quick video on this because it definitely is absolutely worth mentioning, and I did not really get the chance to expand on it in my live stream last night because, of the annoyance of a certain someone being put on a committee, to which I still don't understand, but it's okay. I know when I say or give my commentary and my thoughts on things, everyone won't agree, and it's all right. But I just wanted to just kind of highlight this part of the meeting, the Dolton board meeting that occurred on yesterday. It was their first official board meeting since the swearing ceremony that occurred on Monday. And y'all know I have been saying this for the last almost month now about Keith Freeman. The one that's facing all that bankruptcy fraud charge. Listed in many FBI subpoenas, that he had to go. So let's tune in to exactly what happened to him if we check. Oh, this is epic.
Item up here is discussion and action regarding appointment of a village administrator. Before getting into this point, I do want to comment because many people know that there were our current now past village administrator Keith Freeman, and obviously we know there were some very difficult moments in the early phases. And
I don't know if you all caught that, but let's go.
Current now past village administrator Keith Freeman, and obviously we know there were some very difficult moments in the early phases. And I do want to give just kudos for, I'll say, a change of spirit and change of heart, because a lot of times people
one more time you say? Okay, one more time.
Up here is discussion and action regarding appointment of a village administrator. Before getting into this point, I do want to comment because many people know that there were our current now past village administrator Keith Freeman, and obviously we know there were some very difficult moments.
Bye, Keith Freeman. 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 Bye, Keith Freeman.
Just kudos for, I'll say, a change of spirit and change of heart, because a lot of times people, when things get a little bit tough, they just stop and don't have the courage to have that change of heart. So I will give credit to that.
Yeah, nothing says change of heart like facing prison. Let's just keep it a buck. Keith Freeman was scared as hell when he was indicted, okay? He doesn't want to go to prison. So the cooperation that he has given to the FBI was simply due to the fact that he knows he would not survive being in prison. That's it. Prison. It's the thought of someone taking your liberty and freedom away and taking you out of your life of comfort and putting you in a cell with possibly 1 to 2 good inmates. And knowing that you're going to be in there for many years to come. Yeah, that'll do it. That will do it every time. Come on now. We had to have a praise break on that, okay? I literally am so happy about hearing that. And he just glossing over it. Jason, let us dwell in that for a moment. All right? Let's let people just kind of marinate in that good news. Keith Freeman is out. They appointed a new village administrator. And I, for one, could not be happier. And I know that a lot of people, because I always tried to keep this impartial stance when it came to him after he was indicted. Because I was one, and I'm telling y'all right now, I was one of the first ones that did a video when he was first indicted and saying, he's going to flip. That is what the FBI does. They've been doing this for decades, since the inception of the Federal Bureau of Investigations. They get people near the target they really are going for, and they get them to flip. They get them to give up information. Now, the charges against him with the bankruptcy fraud are valid. He also may have the IRS coming after his ass. He also owes the village of Robbins over 90 grand. So he's in a lot of trouble. He's got his name and signature on documents where it doesn't belong. He's approved for things to happen or block things from happening that violated whole federal laws. So he had to go. And they knew it. That's something that they just could not avoid. And I could not be happy. I just couldn't be happier. So hopefully this new village administrator will, be someone that will have some dignity and integrity. And I'm sure that the residents there are going to hold them accountable and ensure that, if anything comes up that's questionable, you all will ask all the questions. All right. My goal is to report on Super Stupid until she goes to prison. Some of the legal issues and the lawsuits and things of that nature, I enjoy reading these court documents, y'all. There's juicy stuff in it. People don't like reading court documents because it's boring, but I have to make it fun. Just like Kim Austin peeing in the alley. Who would have thought that would have showed up in a court document? Who knew that in a lawsuit somewhere, Kim Austin peed in an alley? Who knew? But you all see why I enjoy it, because there's some good juicy stuff in that. So, I do have Stephanie Wiedemann about the lawsuit, and I, made mention of that back on Monday, that I had the full lawsuit filing. I've had it for a minute, just haven't been able to get to it, but I'm going to get to it. I'm going to get to the other lawsuit from Lawrence Gardner against, Dom Dom and Kim Austin, because Kim Austin got named in a few lawsuits that she shouldn't be in, but corruption and all that nonsense. And now here we are, and we're gonna focus on just the legal aspects of it, reading the court documents and the lawsuits and things to come. I did see the board agenda, and Babe Solo actually showed it up in her video. If you guys go check her video out, she has it up posted. A couple of you guys have it, the board agenda up posted. But the agenda that they covered included, there's about what? Let me see. There's about 4 or 5 good cases on here that they approved for possible settlement and resolution on. And Stephanie Wiedemann's lawsuit was one of them, because she sued Super Student when she was in her official capacity as mayor. And that lawsuit was just sitting. Just kind of sitting there pending. So they have a few that they still have to resolve. I'm going to be honest. I mean, a few of them probably will just end up with some sort of settlement agreement, because going to court costs more for some of these issues than it would to just settle. Now, if you read the court documents, you'll see why I'm saying that. And a couple of them we are going to go over. But when there is a violation of constitutional rights or, federal laws, or even state and local ordinances and laws, and there's evidence to support that, I mean, it's kind of hard for the person to go in and just say, I didn't do it. They might be able to explain away why they did it. But the aspect of them actually breaking the law and it's detailed as to how they did, and you have evidence on it, I can tell you all right now, Super Stupid is sitting somewhere seething and marinating in her and Kamal Siggy's juices. That she's not going to want to go to court on some of these cases, because it's going to now cost her all this money out of her pocket. And it's going to come down to where there are going to be a whole lot more resolutions. Do I think that the village of Dolton should be trying to pay this stuff out? No. And I hope they file a lawsuit against Super Stupid in her personal capacity, now that she's no longer the mayor, to try to recover some of these funds. It has happened. There is precedence for that, where you've had former elected officials, especially when they get in trouble with the law, or they go to prison, or get charged, or whatever, even just being on an investigation, where the position that they were in, whether it be a governor or mayor or, counselor of some sort, or councilwoman, it doesn't matter. And that city or that county or district, they went after that person when they were no longer in that position to recoup some of the funds that they had to spend out on dumb things like lawsuits and attorney's fees. Or how we're doing here in Georgia with Mayor Rafiki, who's out the door pretty much. We're garnishing his check for that painting that he bought that no one approved for him to buy. His check is being garnished. So part of that money could be recouped if they do say, you know what, we need to go after her for this. She got paid over $347,000 a year for 4 years. Plus That's not including the possible kickbacks. I mean, because we all know it's pretty much just, why she didn't want to have contracts with vendors and contractors. But whatever. They could still pursue that in court and try to recover some of that money. And even if it's not just coming out of her wages, it could be through garnishing of assets. So, all right, well, you got a house, you got a car, whatever, Siggy's driving around a nice car. We can take that back. And we sell it, and then we get whatever we can from that. Because it's not fair that it has to all come out of the tax dollars. Try to recover that money. They won't know what will be effective and what will work unless they try it. But I'm sure if they look at least some of the other cases and other precedents that's been set where former officials in other states or even in the same state of Illinois have had to face the music and pay back some of the money that they, misappropriated, money from legal fees and lawsuits, and the district or the city that they represented went after them. And they took their asses to court. And they recovered some of those funds. And actually won that judgment. And then informed the, courts, listen, this person doesn't like to pay bills because she don't like to pay rent. So we're requesting, however this needs to come out of her, whether it be through assets of some sort, garnished from any wages she has, her refund checks, we don't care. That this judgment, is paid out through whatever reasonable legal means and options that are available. So I wouldn't expect her to just write them a check. But if they have to garnish her check and her wages and any future wages to put a hold on her IRS tax refund check, whatever they got to do. All right, you got a house, you got some property. Oh, okay, cool. Go after that. So that they can recover some of this stuff. And then, not have so much of the tax dollars and the public funds going towards all of this without them even trying. They have to try. That's why I say this lovingly. Jason House has to put his foot down and have a spine in certain areas. If it's not worth it, then their attorney will advise them of that. But if there are some areas where, we could pursue this and try to recover some of this money back from her, then they need to try to do that. That's my 2 cents on it. Either way. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. We're going to go over Stephanie Wiedemann's lawsuit that she has against, the village. And Dum Dum. God. Then there's some other potential settlements with Pablo's Cafe, Better Government Association, Avarius Thompson. Let's see here. Destiny Hall, independent administrator of the estate of Timothy McDaniel Hardy versus Dolton. So that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 good lawsuits I'm seeing on here. Or 5. I mean, it's just insane. Good grief. 5 good lawsuits. They're potentially considering just settling out. And where's Fania Duke's case again? Okay. All right. So we're going to go over Stephanie Wiedemann's for sure. And then go over Lawrence Gardner and follow what's happening with the arson investigation with him. And hopefully something preliminary will be available soon to be able to catch and share with you all. I also have a members only video I'm doing of a court case that's now closed, but it's very, very juicy. And the twist on it is going to be something else. All right. Guys, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe and become a member. You want to see that video. It's the only way you're going to see it. And thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for the support. Thank you to all the members and supporters and those who believe in this channel and the information and the content we're putting forward. I appreciate you all greatly. Want you all to take care of yourselves and have a good one. And until the next one, Lady Luck out. Deuces.